What's up, infinite learners? If you're watching this, chances are you're stuck in a cycle of poverty and desperately want to break free. The truth is, escaping poverty is one of the biggest challenges many people face in their lives. It's an uphill battle that requires tremendous sacrifice, determination, and perseverance. In this video, I'm going to lay out 5 major sacrifices that those who have successfully climbed out of poverty had to make. This isn't meant to discourage you, but to give you a reality check on what it really takes. Escaping poverty requires trading short-term comfort for long-term financial freedom. If you're willing to make these sacrifices and put in the hard work over years, you have a real shot at breaking the cycle of poverty. But there are no shortcuts, just a long grind of delayed gratification. So let's dive into the 5 key sacrifices. 1. Sacrifice leisure time. The first major sacrifice is your leisure and personal time. Simply put, you're going to have to hustle and grind harder than you ever imagined possible. That means working insane hours at your main job, taking on side gigs, starting side businesses, or getting trained in higher-paying skills. Gone are the days of coming home after an 8-hour shift to relax, play video games, or binge Netflix. Your nights and weekends will be spent working second or third jobs, building a side hustle, or getting new certifications and training. You'll have to sacrifice hobbies, social outings with friends, attending events, and even time with family in the short term. This grind could last years or even a decade before you finally break through. It's an extreme sacrifice of your personal life, but one that successful people embrace to escape poverty. 2. Live below your means. The second sacrifice is ruthlessly living below your means and minimizing your biggest expenses like housing, transportation, and food. This allows you to save and invest as much as possible into building assets and capital. That means renting rooms or living with multiple roommates instead of your own place. It means taking public transit, biking, or driving a cheap used vehicle instead of a new car. It means cooking all meals at home and eating out rarely, if ever. No vacations, no luxuries, no spontaneous splurges, it all gets saved. You'll likely have to live in rougher neighborhoods in order to find housing you can afford. You may have to take jobs with long commute times if that's all available in your budget range. Going without modern conveniences like cable TV, gym memberships, and other amenities is common. Embracing an extremely frugal, minimalist lifestyle free of most luxuries and comforts is required to scrape together savings to build a foundation for wealth. 3. Postpone major life events. The third sacrifice is postponing major life events and milestones like getting married, having kids, buying a home, starting a family business, or any other major life expenses. These are all dream achievements but can completely derail your journey out of poverty if not carefully planned. Weddings, childbirth, mortgages, and launching businesses all come with immense upfront and ongoing costs that drain cash flow. Children also add years of future expenses for food, healthcare, childcare, and activities. Even with good incomes, these events put couples into debt for decades. Instead, you need to keep delaying these major life events and stay hyper-focused on your singular goal of building financial security first. That could mean postponing having kids into your 30s or even 40s, waiting over a decade to buy your first home, or delaying launching that business until your finances are ironclad. It's an extremely difficult sacrifice to make, with your window of opportunity for some goals closing. But staying unattached and mobile gives you more flexibility. 4. Relocate for opportunities. The fourth sacrifice is a willingness to relocate away from your hometown in pursuit of far better career opportunities, lower costs of living, or access to quality education. This often means moving away from family, friends, and your entire support system. For many trapped in poverty, there simply are no prospects or upward mobility in their local area. The job market may be barren or saturated with low-wage work. Housing costs could consume the majority of any income. Or perhaps training programs and colleges with in-demand skills are inaccessible or too expensive. In these cases, you have to make the sacrifice of leaving everything and everyone you know behind. Relocating to cities with more job opportunities, even if they require relocation for entry-level roles. Moving to areas with lower costs of living to maximize your ability to save money. Or moving wherever you can find access to affordable skills training programs to increase your income potential. This could mean moving across states or even across the country, sacrificing those family ties and social connections for the harsh reality of starting over completely on your own. You may have to live extremely frugally at first in cramped, shared housing away from any familiarity or emotional support system. But making that sacrifice of your hometown, increasing your odds of finding a real ladder out of poverty instead of being trapped in a local area with no opportunities. 5. Forgo instant gratification. The fifth and final sacrifice is developing the mental toughness to consistently forego any instant gratification, embracing a mindset of delaying all positive rewards and comforts until you achieve financial independence and security. For those trapped in poverty, it's so easy to rationalize and succumb to any small affordable luxuries. A candy bar, chips, and soda from the corner store, a pay-per-view movie night, new shoes every few months, a dinner out after a long week, some new outfit from the mall. But all those small $5, $10, $20 purchases massively add up over time to make a dent in your limited income and savings potential. Then there's the lure of bigger splurges and keeping up with trends like the latest smartphones, video game consoles, TVs, fashion, etc. These temporary pleasures only serve to keep you stuck in deficit. To escape this cycle, you have to develop an extreme level of delayed gratification and self-discipline. To look at any non-essential expenditure, any luxury or entertainment, as simply not an option whatsoever. You cut out all immediate pleasures and reformat your mindset to derive satisfaction only from the grind towards your goals. This could mean years of living off the bare basics of cheap groceries and meal preps, no TV or streaming services, no paid apps or software, waiting until clothes have holes to replace them, ignoring any advertisement or impulse purchase, skipping all concerts, movies, bars, clubs, and events that cost money. Every spare dollar gets shoved away and invested in your future quality of life. You embrace being bored and grinding as a badge of honor in the pursuit of building assets, skills, and future earnings potential. It's a monastic commitment to delaying gratification by years or decades to escape the poverty cycle. The sacrifice is realizing every single spending decision is make or break for your ambition of getting out of poverty. There's no wiggle room or balance. It must be 100% dedicated self-restraint and commitment to the mission. So those are the 5 major sacrifices: time, living standards, major life events, relocation, and gratification. They are brutal and extreme, but escape from generational poverty is one of the most difficult feats a person can undertake. It requires an obsessive, monumental effort over many years or even decades. If you're not willing to embrace these sacrifices, you will remain stuck in the same cycles. But if you can persist through the grind and anguish, prioritizing your long-term financial security above all else, you give yourself a real shot at achieving economic freedom. It's up to you to decide if you have that level of self-discipline and determination. Stay hungry and keep grinding, infinite learners.